Fractions are split into equal parts. If there are 2 equal parts, we call them halves. If there are 3 equal parts, we call them thirds. 4 equal parts are called fourths, and 5 equal parts are called fifths. If you have 6 equal parts, they are called sixths. 7 equal parts, sevenths. 8 equal parts, eighths. 9 equal parts, ninths. 10 equal parts, tenths. In this video, you will learn how to name and identify fractions. The first thing you need to look at is how many equal parts there are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. When you have 4 equal parts, those are called fourths. Continue to count the equal parts to name the fractions. So for this, we have 1, 2 equal parts. When you have 2 equal parts, they are called halves. Take a look at the next figure. Here we have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So when we have 3 equal parts, we call them thirds. A fraction is made up of 2 parts. The top number in the fraction is called the numerator, and it shows you the part, how many fraction pieces you have. It's separated with a fraction bar, and the bottom number is called the denominator, the whole, how many fraction pieces your whole is broken into. I like to remember the names as denominator down, since they both start with D. That helps me remember which is the numerator and which is the denominator. Let's practice one more. Here we have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So that means that our denominator is going to be 3. For our numerator, we will look at how many are selected or shaded, which would be 1. We have 1 shaded out of a total of 3 equal parts, and we read that as 1/3. Let's continue to practice identifying fractions. For the first, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. So our denominator will be 4 because there are a total of 4 equal parts. For your numerator, you look at how many are shaded or selected, and that would be 1, 2, 3. So we would read that fraction as 3/4. Let's try another one. In this figure, there are 1, 2, 3 equal parts, so our denominator will be 3. And there are 1, 2 that are shaded or selected, so we read that as 2/3. In our last figure, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal parts, so your denominator will be 6. And we have 1, 2 parts shaded, so we would read that as 2/6. Let's practice identifying fractions on a number line. This number line is broken into 8 equal parts in between the whole numbers of 0 and 1. Some of the fractions are already labeled, and the denominator is 8 to show eighths. We have 2/8, 3/8, 5/8, 6/8, and 7/8 labeled. So to identify point A and point B, we will look at what comes before and after. So for point A, before we have 0, which would be 0/8, and after we have 2/8. So in between 0 and 2 would be 1/8. We'll do the same for point B. Before we have 3/8, and after we have 5/8. So in between 3 and 5 would be 4/8. Let's try another number line. This number line shows the whole numbers of 0 and 1 and fractions in between. The fractions have a denominator of 4, showing that this number line is split into fourths. We need to locate point A and B and name those fractions. So we're starting at 0, which would be 0/4. Then A would be 1/4. Then we have 2/4. B would be 3/4. And then 1 whole is equal to 4/4 because when you have all of your parts, it is equal to 1 whole. Now we will learn how to find fractions of a set. Here we have a set of 8 smiley faces, and we want to find 1/4 of those 8 smiley faces. So they are broken into 4 sections. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that shows the fourths. And we only want to look at one of those groups. So I'm going to circle one of those groups, and that would be 2 smiley faces. So 1/4 of 8 equals 2. Let's try another. Here we have 1/3 of 9. There are 9 diamonds, and they are broken into 3 groups. 1, 2, 3, showing that there are thirds. If we wanted to look at one of those groups, we would circle one of them. And in that group, there are 3 diamonds. So 1/3 of 9 equals 3. Thank you for watching my video. I hope it helped. Check out my Teaching Exchange Classroom for worksheets and centers, and download the Grade 3 Fraction Bundle for more practice with this concept.